How you doing, folks? Papa Joe here. Cigarette. What a day. I got a long night to sit around. Had a video or two I want to make. This being the first one. I was listening to some talk radio today. I don't listen to the FM very often, but I listen to some talk radio. Listen to a little preaching of the word today too, but the talk radio got my attention. They ended up talking about transgender, which those that know me, you probably got a pretty good idea of my views on transgender. Don't get me wrong. If you're gay, bi, whatever, I don't care. I ain't gonna hold it against you. That's your thing. That's between you and the good Lord and you and the world. I'm not gonna put you down for it. I ain't gonna lie to you and tell you you're going to hell, because that ain't my call. And I don't think that that's necessarily the case. However, always a damn however. What do you have to fill that in for? It's gone a lot past personal choice. Now a bunch of it is trying to be forced on us as a society that I'm not okay with. And now they're trying to force us to say it's okay. I ain't gonna do it, because to me it's not okay. It might be okay with you, for you to do it, but it ain't okay with me. What about smoking? I'm okay with smoking. It might not be okay with you. So it's personal choices. It's not society trying to cram it down our throats, much less government. Now they try to holler about hate crimes. Hate crimes are not good. We need to stop them on all levels about all things. They got going on about a doctor in Australia and a doctor in Canada, and they had the doctor in Canada on the phone. The guy in Australia, the doctor, they've got elections going on over there, and all he did was repost a comment made by a conservative candidate. So it wasn't just a random post that was trashing people. This was a post from a candidate that's running for election for office. And he reposted two of this guy's comments, or this guy's post. They didn't say what they were, I don't know. Well, now the Australian Medical Board is investigating him because somebody complained. And they're talking to this doctor in Canada about this. And the guy in Canada, he said this started rearing its ugly head for us in 2010. He said we now have hate laws where if you say anything against transgenders or any of the ilk, he says you can get 2 years in prison for speaking your mind. Now, we're not talking about threatening nobody. We're not talking about condemning them to hell. We're talking about just saying anything bad about them, period. Really? Then where's your laws for the common people, for anyone that says anything bad about the common person? They have issues up there like we do, where they have these protesters, squeaking wheel syndrome. It's heard around the world. The squeaking wheel gets the grease, you know the saying. They're up there and threatening normal people like our idiots down here are. Well, where's the laws protecting us or them? Why is it only laws being passed protecting the one that's crying the loudest? That's not free government. That's not a fair government. The thing is, what they're all complaining about or talking about, however you want to say it, that's making people mad, is that they are now, how should I say it? There are doctors and grown-ups that are now giving hormone blocks to children. They are now trying to say that children are confused about who they are, and we need to give them these hormone blockers that affects their health for life. It's already been proven that this hormone blocker that they give to the little boys, the one for men, that the grown-ups think should be a girl, that it increases heart attacks, strokes, and all this stuff like 80 or 90%. Wow, really? And you're giving this to our children. It also affects how they can reproduce, or lack of. Don't nobody come on here and make no smart ass comment about that. We're talking about children, and the children are not old enough to know what these parents and doctors are doing to them, and it ain't right. That child ain't old enough to know what it really thinks and feels, but the parents or guardians and or doctors are doing stupid stuff to these children that will affect them the rest of their lives, and this child will have to bear the blunt of that down the road. Now you tell me how that's right. Ain't no way you can convince me that's right. Now I thought as a species that we protected our children better than the animal kingdom. Evidently not. Evidently we're falling to the bottom of the animal kingdom chain of life. I don't think an 18-year-old should be allowed to make the decision on what they want to do. And as for your transgender, they say there's what, 6 or 7 different things that you can be. Facebook gives you like 70 things to choose from my understanding. Guess what? Bottom line, it does not matter what kind of surgeries you have. It does not matter what kind of drugs they give you, what kind of blockers or anything else. They're not going to change your DNA. Your DNA says you're either a male or a female. All the rest of this is cosmetics. And yes, with modern medicine and surgeries and all that, they can change the outside appearance. They're not going to change in here. They ain't going to change your DNA, and they ain't going to change what God made you. Period. Even if you're not into God, guess what? They still can't change your DNA. So you go get the full works, the whole deal, get it all. And then pull a hair. Give a DNA sample somehow. Guess what it's going to come back? Your original gender. Period. There's some things that man ain't figured out yet. As an adult, do and be what you want to be. That's between you and God. Leave the children alone. You remember when they were trying to get all the lotto stuff passed back in the 80s and 90s? All we kept hearing about, it's for the children. Help the children. It's for the children. I got so tired of hearing that. Because then they'd get it passed and they kept the bulk of the money. Oh, it's for the schools. The schools got, what, maybe 10% if they're lucky? What happened to it's for the children? What happened to it's about the children? For those of you that's trying to save the world, one snail at a time, why don't you try saving your children? Why don't you get on that bandwagon? Why don't you protect the children? Remember, one day, we are all going to be held accountable for every deed and every syllable. You might want to think about that. You might want to help the children. Y'all remember, God loves you, so do I. I love the children too. They can be some aggravating little shits, but they're still our children. We are supposed to protect our children. Gave you something to think about, didn't I? Y'all have a blessed evening now. Good night.